My name is Brian Chagnon, and this is my senior project titled Everyday Heroes. Throughout this project, I want you to think of who is your everyday hero. Who do you look up to? Is it a superhero? Is it a teacher? Is it a sibling, one of your friends? And what makes them your everyday hero? And keep that in mind throughout the presentation. So, going into senior seminar, I always had an intention. And the intention was to always help someone or many people. And I remember going into the presentation, people were saying that, oh, I want to do a tournament, I want to learn an instrument, I want to teach kids, and those were all good ideas, and I was leaning towards the teach kids kind of thing. And I got an idea from my friend Duke Beal sitting in the audience right there. But there was a place right down the street that I could volunteer almost any day for as long as I wanted with kids. So that leads me to my volunteering, and I volunteered at the Bill Center. At the Bill Center, I did my community connection project. The Bill Center is right down the street, right across from the Bill Elementary School. It's run by the Morrison, Mr. and Mrs. Morrison, and there's plenty of teachers there too. Just a list of what I did for my volunteering. I started by going over there and asking them, when can I volunteer? And it was immediate that they were open almost any single day, and that I could volunteer for as long as I wanted. So I went on Wednesdays and Fridays for about 3.5 hours. I started my day by going over there during my free period, and I went to the after-school hours when I volunteered. So when we would all the teachers and I would walk over to the elementary school, and we'd go into the gymnasium, and all the kids would come in, the 3rd and 4th graders, and they'd sit down, they'd line up, we'd do attendance, and then I'll get ready to go over to the track. So we would go up to the track every single day, almost every single day. We'd go out. If it was cold, if there was snow, if it was sunny, the kids loved going to the track, so we'd try our best to get over there. And we'd go to the track and we'd play with the kids for about an hour, and the kids would run around the track, they would play with balls, they had a soccer net out there and everything. And it was a fun time, and we spent an hour there, and the kids loved it, and it was good to get them out of school and to be able to be active, so when they're not so crazy when we go back to the youth center. So we would go back to the youth center, and we would do something educational-wise. We would do something like reading or math. And some of the 3rd and 4th graders would go up to the preschoolers in another section of the youth center, and they would read to them kind of like a book house thing. When we were in 4th grade, and we did it with kindergartners. And after that, for about a half an hour, we'd go into activities. And activities could consist of arts and crafts. It could consist of being in the game room, playing pool or ping pong, or everyone's favorite, playing crackerball or dodgeball in the mini gym. And here I am interacting with the kids. I tried my best not to hit anyone in the head. So, I like doing activities because I was able to help run them with other teachers. The kids would see me running them, and they would look up to me for direction. And the activities were fun because I was able to interact the most with the kids and make an impact. And my volunteering, I volunteered for about 60 hours at the Bill Center. I could have stopped at the required, which was 35 hours, but I was speaking with Mrs. Ogman, and she was saying that if you really want to make an impact and continue what you're doing, just keep going. And that's exactly what I did. I didn't stop at 60 hours thinking that I'm just going to stop here, that's the final line. I wanted to do 60 and that was it. That's not what I was doing. It was 60 hours up to my presentation. And over those 60 hours, I feel as though that it was more than enough time to make friendships with the 3rd and 4th graders. All along, when I said I was trying to help the kids, I wanted to positively impact the kids. I wanted to be their role model. I wanted to be their everyday hero kind of thing. So, being able to be their role model, I had to think about who are my role models. I had to think about who impacted me. How can I look at how my role models impacted me, and how can I impact the kids in the same way? And my biggest role models who impacted me are my 2 brothers, Jeff and Steve Chagnon. There's Jeff, I'm sitting in his lap, and we're watching Steven wrestle. And there's Steve on the left side of the screen, sitting there at a restaurant after prom. These guys look happy, right? Like, I thought that they were the coolest guys ever. I remember exactly what I thought of them when I was sitting there. I was thinking that my brothers run the school. I thought that they ran the high school. They might have not, but that's what I thought. And I looked up to them every single day, and I thought that they were the coolest kids ever. And I still do today. And they taught me so many things, like Jeffrey, when he went through high school and into college, in his master's, he did engineering. And seeing that, it made me think, well, if Jeff does it, why shouldn't I do it? So what did I do? Through middle school, during the summer, I did engineering courses. In my first 2 years of high school, I did the engineering classes. Steven, watching him go through high school and out of high school, he played the guitar and sang. And since Steve did it, why shouldn't I do it? So I've taken countless years of guitar lessons and sing, and I still do it today. And if you're wondering, here they are today. And my brothers didn't just teach me hobbies. They didn't just teach me to play guitar, or to do good in school, or to be an engineer kind of thing. They taught me life lessons. They taught me things that I remember throughout my entire life. Like in elementary school, like they would teach me to not let kids pick on you, to stand up for yourself. They weren't saying to punch a kid in the face. They were teaching me to make it stop and make a difference and tell someone. They would teach me to be cool, right? They were the cool kids, so they taught me to be cool. They taught me to always follow what I wanted to do, and so much more. I feel as though watching them go through high school and today, I reflect who they are. Because the things they taught me, I've learned, and I use those things every single day. And as I grew, I realized that it was important. As I grew up, I realized that I needed to pay more attention to the things that they were teaching me, so I could take those things and teach other kids, just like I did at the Bow Youth Center. So, volunteering at the Bow Youth Center, I had to think about the impact I made on the kids and how I could measure that impact. And it came to me that when I was volunteering, that it was the experiences that I shared with the kids in and outside of the Bow Youth Center that would allow me to measure if I was being a role model. And some of the things that I remember was that inside the Bow Youth Center, when I came to volunteer, some of the kids would come up to me and give me a big hug and ask me where I'd been. Even though it was just a few days since I've seen them last, they came up and hugged me and they were concerned why I wasn't there. And they would tell me, you should get a job here. I know you're volunteering, but get a job here, you can be here every day. Outside of the Bow Youth Center, I remember I went to the Bow Library one time to get a book for this class, and I saw one of the kids there. When I turned the corner and he looked at me, he gave me a big smile, and he said my name out loud, really loud. We walked up to each other and we spoke for a little bit, and he went on his way smiling. And that kind of, when you see a kid so happy to see you, it makes you feel good and like you're making a difference to him. I work at Fieldhouse Sports, and there have been times where I went to the Bow Youth Center and kids were saying, did you see me? Did you see me? And I go, what are you talking about? And they were telling me about how when I was working with a customer there, they would be waving, trying to get my attention and everything, and that I had apologized that I didn't see them, and that they would say to me, look out for me next time. Say that whenever you're working, always look for one of us. And that made me happy and think that these kids want to see me. I make them happy, I'm positively impacting them, what I want to do all along. So I think those interactions were great for me to measure the impact I'm making. Part of my senior seminar project wasn't just volunteering at the Bow Youth Center. I did a research paper and it was on child abuse and neglect. I didn't want to necessarily stand up here and talk about that as such a negative subject, but I wanted to talk about throughout my research, it's made me realize that I need to push harder, and it made me focus my attention more to going to the Bow Youth Center, to being a role model to someone who might not have a role model at home. It made me realize that every kid has someone to look up to, or a positive life. They might not have older siblings like I do. They might not have parents that are their role models. They might need someone, and I wanted to be that someone. I didn't necessarily go to the Bow Youth Center looking for children to see if they were abused or neglected. I wasn't doing that. I wanted to go there and be there for someone who might need it the most. And that's what I felt as though I did. Closing up, I think as though I should challenge all of you. That it's your turn to go out and make an impact to someone and be a role model. Be the big brother that someone didn't have. It doesn't necessarily have to be it doesn't necessarily have to be you being an older sibling kind of thing. It could be a friend at school. You could be a role model for someone here, your same age or someone older than you. Everyone should have someone to look up to, even though they might be older than you. You can always make an impact. And I feel as though you should all look for someone who needs it the most. A couple thank yous to go out. Mr. Watson for being a great mentor. He could not make it today. Mrs. Aubin for being a great teacher. Ms. Lauren, Mrs. Morrison at the VU Center. Mrs. Prescott for allowing me to interview her for my research. And everyone who has made me the person I am today. Friends, family, my girlfriend, etc. Thank you.